Okay, all of you, welcome back to this lab session. Today we will discuss about the sixth experiment in our digital communication lab, that is phase shift keying. So phase shift keying is a fundamental binary digital modulation technique in which the phase of the carrier is going to be changed according to the input digital data. For example, here if the input digital data is generally in the form of ones and zeros, whether it may be 1 or it may be 0. Okay, so each 1 and 0 is represented in the form of electrical pulses, but in PSK each one is represented with the positive voltage and 0 is represented with the negative voltage. So this is how the input binary data is represented as positive and negative pulses. So this kind of representation of this input binary data is called as generally polar NRZ coding. It's called as polar non-return to zero line coding method. So that means especially in phase shift keying, we are going to represent the input digital data, that is ones and zeros, in the form of electrical pulses. That too, each one is represented with a positive pulse and each zero is represented with a negative pulse, like this. Okay. Now, what happens in the phase shift keying operation? What happens to the phase shift keying modulation? So the phase shift keying means when the input is binary 1, then this modulation technique will produce the carrier with 0 degrees phase. It produce a carrier with 0 degrees phase. That means same carrier is produced. Let us say that is C of t. The same carrier is produced. Next, if the input is binary 0, then it will produce the carrier with 180 degrees phase shift. It will produce the carrier with 180 degrees phase shift. So 180 degrees phase shift of the carrier is nothing but the negative carrier. You can say that that is minus C of t. When if you assume that C of t is AC cos 2 pi of ct, then AC cos 2 pi of ct plus 180 degrees is nothing but minus AC cos 2 pi of ct. So simply you can say that it is a reverse carrier or negative carrier is produced. So like that, there will be two different phase changes we can clearly observe at the output of the phase shift keying modulated signal. Now our experiment is to observe phase shift keying modulated signal, and we need to identify what are the two different phases that are coming. What are the two different phases that are coming at the output of the modulated signal, and also we will demodulate the PSK signal so that we will verify whether the same input bit sequence is getting or not. For example, in the input sequence you may set the input bit sequence as 10 110 110 so like this. The same input bit sequence that must be demodulated at the output. Okay. Now, in order to do this experiment, so let us see the experimental kit. What is the experimental kit we used in our laboratory? So this is what the experimental kit we generally used in our laboratory. If you observe this total kit, this kit is especially designed and made only for phase shift keying modulation and demodulation. So that means this entire kit is only made for PSK only. No other modulation technique can be done by using this experimental kit. But whereas if you observe the earlier digital experimental kit, for example, let me share that kit what we discussed in the previous class, that is this one. Okay, if you observe this hardware kit, then you can find ASK modulation and demodulation, PSK modulation and demodulation, DPSK, differential PSK modulation and demodulation, and also FSK modulation and demodulation. So how many modulation techniques are there here? 4 modulation techniques can be performed by using the single hardware kit. Okay. For example, in our case, the phase shift keying, that is DPSK, if we enable this modulation by using this modulation selection switch, we can do or we can perform this phase shift keying modulation and demodulation also. But as we have a separate kit for PSK, so let us do the experiment on that particular kit. Okay. But when you come to the laboratory, you can do phase shift keying by using this kit, common kit, or by using a separate kit also. So whatever you can or whatever you like, you can do the experiment on any of the kit. Similarly, for other experiments also, there may be a separate kit for FSK also, but you can do FSK experiment by using the same kit also. So what I am telling is, you have two different kits or two different options where you can do an experiment in the hardware laboratory. Okay, one maybe you can find out in the common kit, or other possible solution is you can use a separate kit for separate modulation technique. Either way, you can do an experiment. But since we have a separate kit for phase shift keying and frequency shift keying, so let us use that separate kit. Okay. Now, all of you observe that this is the hardware kit for phase shift keying modulation as well as demodulation. Okay. So, what is there in the modulation? So, this is explained in a very simple way, but all the internal circuits, all those ICs and components are already displayed externally. But when you see other kits, all the components are not displayed externally, they are inside the level. But here, every component and ICs and transistors, diodes, resistors, everything is displayed here with clear IC numbers also. Okay, that means you can also observe a practical circuit which is used for generation of PSK and modulation as well as demodulation, and also how the power is generated, and also how the clock is generated, and everything you can clearly observe. Okay, but of course IC implementation is not there in our discussion, but try to observe that by using operational amplifiers and different ICs connections, we can able to generate this PSK modulated signal. So what you need to observe is here how the signal is generated, how the carrier is generated, and how the input digital data is selected. So let us observe all these things here. For example, to do any digital modulation technique, first of all we need a digital input, right? To perform any digital modulation technique, you need a digital input or a data input. So here from this entire kit, where the data input is generating. You observe this block, there is a separate block which is named as data generator. That means from this data generator block, we can get 4 possible input digital data. Okay. For example, if you observe this pin and connect to the CRO, then you can observe the digital data as some electrical pulses having positive and negative pulses. Maybe this signal may be after converting into NRZ field. So then if you observe this pulse waveform in the CRO, then based on that pulse waveform, you can clearly observe what are the bit sequences. For example, if you observe this data bit sequence may be 101010 also. And if you observe this second data and connect it to CRO, again you can observe the same kind of pulse waveform, but definitely you find there is a different bit sequence at the second pin. Not like 1010, it may be a different sequence like 110, 110, something like that. Okay. So here if you observe the third data pin to the CRO and connect to the CRO, then in that CRO screen you can observe a different input data sequence. Like that, you can have 4 possible combinations of input bit sequences. So whatever may be the input data you selected, say based on the same data you need to demodulate here. That means the demodulated output must be having the same sequence with respect to input data sequence, right? And In order to modulate these digital data, you should require a carrier signal. Okay, you should require a carrier signal that must be generated by some oscillator. For example, if you clearly observe this, this is a kind of oscillator having capacitors and resistors, having some phase shift oscillator is there. So based on this oscillator, this is the output of the oscillator. From this oscillator, you can observe there is a sinusoidal signal which is generating. So that sinusoidal signal can be considered as a carrier signal. So that's why this is called as a carrier signal generator. So from this pin, you can clearly observe the carrier signal. Okay. And if you observe this block, from this signal only, after doing some modifications with some transistor circuits and ICs, that is 7890 IC, you can able to generate this clock pulses also. Sorry, this data inputs also. That's why this both are comes under the same log line. Okay. Now, one more thing is, in order to identify the bit sequence at this corresponding input, that input must be compared with the clock signal. Then only you can able to identify the how many number of ones and how many number of zeros are there. Okay, that is already explained in the ASK modulation. So similarly, if you want to observe that, this signal must be compared with the clock. So here, where is the clock is generated? Where the clock is generating means here there is a transistor which is named as BC107. So the transistor output, that is exactly here. Transistor output is nothing but the clock signal. Then when we compare this clock signal with the data input, then you can clearly identify what are the bit sequences are there corresponding to this input data. So that we'll see in the experimental analysis. Next, then if you clearly identify the clock signal, data input and carrier signal, then directly connect this data input to this here and carrier signal to here. Then this is known as the PSK modulation diagram. So by using again some ICs having some components, we can able to generate this PSK output. So as we already know that PSK modulated signal is generated by just multiplying carrier and input data. So or you can use some product modulator. You can use some product modulator. So that product modulator is designed based on this IC741 operational amplifier. Okay. So one input is given here, another input is given here. By using this some IC, we can able to provide this switching operation or product modulation operation. Then finally PSK output is generated here. So simply connect this carrier and input here, directly observe the PSK output here. Here what should be the PSK output? That PSK output must generate with two different phase values, that is 0 degrees and 180 degrees, corresponding to 1 and 0. So let us observe this PSK output and how the phase changes are obtained while doing the experiment. Next, after observing this PSK output waveform, then you need to perform the demodulation. So this block is nothing but the PSK demodulation circuit. In this demodulation circuit, as we already said that in theoretical analysis, in the PSK demodulation, we generally use a coherent detection. Okay, all of you carefully observe this, and you should remember this thing also. The type of demodulation used for PSK must be coherent detection. That must be coherent detection. Okay, the type of demodulation that is used for PSK is must be a coherent detection. Here, what is the meaning of coherent detection? What is the meaning of coherent detection? Coherent detection means in the demodulation also we should use the same carrier with same phase and frequency that is used already in the transmission side. Okay, that means whatever the carrier which is used in the transmission purpose or modulation analysis, the same carrier must be used in the demodulation also with same phase and frequency. If that type of demodulation using the same carrier in the demodulation process, then that type of demodulation is called as coherent demodulation or simply coherent detection. So that's why in addition to this pin, there is another pin which is named as carrier input. That means modulated signal is given to the input of the demodulation. Along with that, definitely you must give the same carrier signal also in the demodulation. That means this carrier must be supplied to the modulation as well as demodulation also. Then only you can able to perfectly demodulate this original signal. So again, in the demodulation process, we have different circuits already mentioned while discussing theoretically. So first, initially, this PSK modulated signal is multiplied with this carrier. After the multiplication, there will be some low pass filter is connected. After the low pass filter, there will be a decision device. So for that decision device, there will be an a logic gate or XOR gate is used here. This XOR gate will just compare the filtered output with the decision threshold. Based on that comparison, the output may be either 1 or 0. Okay. Simply that theoretical block diagram is implemented practically by using IC circuits and operation amplifier circuits. Okay. So that is what the demodulation process. Okay. Now this is what the experimental kit. Based on this, you are going to do the practical experimental analysis. Okay. And the last section you can clearly observe. The last section is nothing but the power supply. Here, what is the power supply? It is mentioned 5 volts plus or minus 5 volts regulated DC power supply. That means to operate this circuit, we require only DC voltage, not AC voltage. So how to convert AC voltage to DC voltage? Because if there is a power adapter pin which is connected to here, so that adapter is converted the AC available 230 volts AC signal to DC signal, and that DC signal is again regulated to constant 5 volts. This is what is called as regulator circuit. Okay, I think you all know about these things. This is 7805 IC, nothing but the voltage regulator. So by using this voltage regulator IC, you can regulate or maintain the DC signal as constant, which is equal to 5 volts. So that 5 volt supply is given to all these circuits. Clear? Now let us see what are the inputs and what are the outputs which are displayed in the CRO. First, let's see the images and then we go for experimental video. Okay. Actually, this is what the experimental procedure which I already explained. Now let us see what is the input digital data when comparing with the clock signal. Okay. So where these two signals are obtained in the hardware kit. Let us see. This is the first signal, that is known as input. That is input digital data. And this is the second signal, which is known as clock. Okay. Here we are going to compare the input digital data with the clock, and then only you can able to identify what is the corresponding bit signal. For example, if you observe that we already know that for every clock time period, there will be one bit is generated in any type of modulation technique. For example, here what is the clock time period? What is the clock time period? For example, if we start from here, this is what the clock time period. Okay. This is one clock time period. This is second clock time period. That means during two clock pulse time periods, there will be one pulse is generating. So here also, if you observe, here also, you carefully observe, this pulse is generated based on two clock time periods, because this is what one clock time period, this is what another clock time period. Okay. Or I think only one clock time period is there, right? For every clock time period, let us say this is one clock time period from this point to this point. For every clock time period, there will be one pulse is generated. Similarly, for the next clock time period, again one pulse is generating. For the next clock time period, again one pulse is generating. That means here in this particular example, for every clock time period, there will be one pulse is generating. So that pulse may correspond to either 1 or 0. Either 1 or 0. 1 means if it is a positive pulse, you can treat it as a binary 1. If it is a negative pulse, you can treat it as a binary 0. Like that, this is what the sequence which is coming from the input digital data from this experimental kit. From this one, let us say we take the first one, the corresponding bit sequence which can be observed as 1010 and so on like this. But if you observe the second one or a third one as a digital input, then this bit sequence may be changed, like 110 110 or maybe 1101 110 and something like that. The sequence may be different. So in order to identify the bit sequence from the input, you need to compare with the clock pulse. For every clock time period, how many number of pulses, how many number of high pulses or how many number of negative voltages are coming, depending on that, you can able to identify the bit sequence. For example, here in this case, during one clock time period, only one pulse is generated. Okay, or during this positive period, only one clock time period is there. That's why we have taken only one bit, that is 1. Similarly, during this positive period, during this positive amplitude of the pulse, if there are two such clock time periods, then we can take this bit sequence as 1 and 1. Similarly, if there are two such clock pulses in this duration, then you should write 0 0. So 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 and so on. Like that, you need to compare the input digital data with the clock signal so that you should be able to write what is the corresponding bit sequence. So here, how this is obtained in the CRO? Where is the 1 and where is the 2? Where is the input data and where is the clock is generating? Okay. When you observe this diagram, this is what the input digital data which can be generated. If you connect this to CRO, we can able to observe input digital data pulse. And then exactly here at the output of the transistor, actually the knob is not given, so you need to connect to the CRO probe at this point. Then only you can able to observe what is the clock signal. So by comparing these two, you can able to identify what is the corresponding bit sequence that is obtained from this first data signal. Okay, and of course every CRO probe positive pin must be connected here, negative pin must be connected to ground. You can take anything as ground here, that negative pin must be connected to ground. So that is what the first observation and the first step. You all need to identify what is the corresponding input data and input bit sequence compared with the clock. And the clock also, you need to identify what is the time period of the clock, the frequency of the clock, and what is the amplitude of the clock also. Right? Next, the next thing is you need to observe what is the PSK modulated output and compare with the input digital data. If you can clearly observe the input digital data which is identified as 1 0 1 0 and so on, then you clearly observe from the basic fundamental operation of phase shift keying modulated or phase shift keying modulation, whenever there is a 1 in the input side, then the PSK will produce the carrier signal with 0 degrees phase. That means the same carrier signal will be obtained. So that's why the same carrier is obtained. Similarly, if the input is binary 0, then there will be the PSK will generate the carrier with 180 degrees phase shift. What is the meaning of 180 degrees phase shift? What is the meaning of 180 degrees phase shift means? If it is a cos theta, cos 2 pi fct, then cos 2 pi fct plus pi, which is nothing but minus cos theta or minus cos 2 pi fct. That means exactly the reverse of this waveform or negative of this waveform will be displayed. If it is a positive pulse, here will be negative pulse. If it is negative pulse, positive. So completely it is reverse. So that means negative carrier is obtained, or I can say that carrier with 180 degree phase shift is obtained. Similarly, that will be repeated. Again, if there is a 1, so same carrier signal is obtained. Again, if there is 0, 180 degrees carrier is obtained. Again, 1, same carrier, 180 degrees carrier, and so on like this. Like that, from the PSK modulated output, you should be able to identify how many number of phases are there and what are the phase values of the PSK modulated signal. So that is identified as 0 degrees and 180 degrees corresponding to the input of binary 1 and binary 2. That you need to identify from the output of the PSK modulated signal. Next. And finally, you need to identify what is the demodulated signal when compared with the input. Okay. For example, simply if you clearly observe these two waveforms, both are seems to be very same or very similar. So that's how we can conclude that the demodulated or demodulation process is perfectly implemented in this PSK experimental kit. So that's why demodulated signal is exactly same when compared to the input signal. Okay, I have already discussed in the previous class that one of the advantage of digital modulation technique is you can perfectly able to demodulate the original signal. Unlike in analog modulation or analog communication, while we are demodulating the original sinusoidal signal, then you cannot able to perfectly demodulate the signal. There will be some distortion, there will be some reduction of amplitude, or there may be some changes. Okay, there are a lot of things are happening in the demodulation process. But here, there will be no changes. Exactly the same input can be able to demodulate at the output because we are using a digital communication or a digital modulation and demodulation technique. So that's why if the input bit sequence is 101010, the demodulated bit sequence is also same. That is again 10, 10 and 10. But this is the basic example I have shown to you. So you need to repeat this process for different input data sequences. And you should be able to identify what is the corresponding PSK output and how the phase changes are obtained, and what is the corresponding bit sequence. Whether this demodulated bit sequence is same as to the input or not, you need to verify. That is what the procedure and the observations you need to make while doing this phase shift keying, modulation and demodulation. So for the experimental video, actually in this slide it is not showing perfectly because the video is playing in vertical mode. So let me use this player. Are you able to see this screen? Let me inform. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So let me pause this video sometimes. After pausing, I will going to explain what are the different connections and what are the different pins are there here. Okay. So all of you observe this. These are the different data pins, data input or data generation is there. There will be 4 different data inputs are there. The CRO probe to any one of this pin, then if you observe that data input to the CRO, then you clearly observe there will be some electric pulse waveform which is generated. Based on that pulse waveform, and when we compare with this clock signal, we can able to identify what is the corresponding bit sequence. Okay. So this is what the clear circuit, how the data signal is generated based on the 7490 and corresponding transistors and some resistors. This will be some IC diagrams, so which is not required to analyze everything here. So directly observe this data output in the CRO or one of the data output here. One input and point, you can clearly observe this. Already data input is connected to CRO. Next, I am connecting the second probe of CRO to this clock signal. Here the clock is generated, but actually there is no probe here. Just I am touching this CRO probe to this point, and I am going to observe what is the comparison of input with the clock pulse. Okay, so let me put that CRO screen in dual mode and try to observe both the signals. Okay, so let us see. Now let us see. This is what the actual digital input data which is generating, and this is what the clock signal. This is what the clock signal. So you can clearly able to observe for every clock time period, there will be one bit is generating. So only one bit is generating because we have only one clock time period for every positive and negative pulses. So we can able to say that the corresponding input sequence which is generating from that pin is 101010 only, right? The next thing. So we can make this by giving one at here, another one at clock signal. Okay. Now here I am connecting one of the CRO probe to the second data input. So let me see what will be the changes in the bit sequence. So let us see the CRO screen again by comparing the second digital data with the clock pulse. Now let us see. Now all of you carefully observe. There will be a changes in the bit sequence. This is what the digital data which is obtained from the second data generator, and this is what the same clock pulse what we have observed earlier. So from this, how can you identify the corresponding bit sequence? What is the corresponding bit sequence in this data generator or in this digital data? How can I identify? We need to compare this pulse with number of clock time periods. For example, if we start from here, or maybe from here, so how many number of clock time periods are there? How many number of clock time periods are there during this positive duration? For example, 1, 2, I think only 2, right? One clock time period and another clock time period. So within this duration, there will be 2 clock pulses are there, or 2 clock time periods are there, so that this positive pulse can be treated as 1 and 1. So 2 ones are there here. Similarly, during this negative pulse, how many clock pulses are there? Let us observe how many clock pulses are there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So there will be 6 clock time periods are there during this negative portion, so that this negative pulse can be treated as 6 zeros. So that means 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So the sequence is 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. That means 2 ones and 6 zeros. Next, again that same sequence is repeated. Only 8-bit sequence is taken here. Again that same sequence is repeated. That means again 1, 1 and 6 zeros. Again 1, 1 and 6 zeros. So that is keep on repeating. So finally, from the second data input, you can able to identify the bit sequence as 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. That is what the corresponding bit sequence for one particular time. That sequence is going to be repeated for next duration also. Right? That is the second one. Like the other 2 data inputs, so, but you can observe that later. So here I am directly observing the what is the carrier signal here. This is what the sinusoidal carrier signal is generated. Okay. So where the carrier is generating, this is what the carrier signal is. Next, connect this carrier signal to here and data signal to here and try to observe what is the PSK modulated. Connected here and the data input must be here. So by using 2 patch cards, I am connecting and data to the two inputs of the modulator. Now, of the modulated signal. So connect this to the CRO, and again, while are you able to follow this? Are you able to follow this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think there is no noise coming, right? Is there any noise coming?
No,
Can I
sir.
continue?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I just paused the video here. Let us once again observe. The modulated output is connected to one of the CRO probe in one channel, and again the input is connected to the second channel. So again I am going to compare the modulated signal with the input. So that's why we need to make the CRO in a dual mode, so that two signals must be displayed. This is one signal, that is input, and second signal must be modulated waveform. Now let us see. So the two signals are obtained like this. Okay, this is what the input signal, and out of the four possible inputs, we have taken the first one as a example, or first one as a experimental analysis. So that's why this will be like this, having 1 0 1 0 1 0 only, and corresponding to 1 there will be a carrier with 0 degree phase, corresponding to 0 there will be a carrier with 180 degree phase, and so on like this. This is what the PSK modulated waveform with two phase variations continuously like this. Okay, you all should identify what is the where the phase reversal is there, because 180 degrees is nothing but phase reversal. That means wave is completely reversed. Next. You can clearly observe for every bit there will be a carrier with G. Now here I am going to change the input connection to the second one. That means totally the bit sequence is going to be changed. So according to that changed bit sequence, let us see what will be the PSK modulated waveform. Okay. Now let me connect one. What is the second bit sequence? We have already analyzed. The second input sequence is 1 1 0 0 0 0 0 0. That means 2 ones and 6 zeros. So whatever may be the input bit sequence, the PSK waveform will produce like, if the input is ones, it may be 1 or 2 ones also during this positive duration, or during the input of ones, then the PSK will produce the carrier with 0 degrees phase shift. That means same carrier is produced without any phase shift. Next, whenever we find there is a 0 or zeros during this entire portion, the phase of the carrier is going to be reversed. That means the carrier with 180 degrees phase shift, so that the wave is completely reversed from this point, reverse and continue up to this point, because from this duration the entire thing is zero only. So for all this, phase of the carrier is going to be reversed, and then again at this particular point the input will become 1 again. So whenever the input is 1, again the carrier must be obtained with 0 degrees phase shift. So that's why the same carrier is obtained again here, and it will be repeated and so on. So like that, you can able to identify what is the PSK modulated output corresponding to different bit sequences of. So next one, here we are going to observe like that. We can also observe the other two inputs also as a practice. Now directly I am going for PSK demodulation process. In the demodulation, we have already discussed that the PSK must be demodulated using foreign detection only. Foreign detection means in the demodulation also we should use a carrier. That means same carrier must be connected to here along with modulated output. Now let us connect this. So PS output must be connected and demodulation must be obtained. So Let us see. PS output is connected to here, and along with that, and if you observe this connection, carrier is connected to here. So this is what the pin. The carrier is already connected to the modulation. The same carrier is again connected to the demodulation. That means it is clear that the carrier which is used in this current detection is the same carrier that is used in the modulation with same phase and same frequency, because we are in the same carrier directly. So we can maintain the coherence that same phase and same frequency is already obtained because we are using the same carrier. Now, after connecting the modulated output and carrier, which is used in the same in the modulation, then we observe the demodulated output. The same sequence, exactly the same sequence is obtained without any errors. Without any errors, you can able to obtain the same sequence. So, what is the demodulated output? The demodulated output is, and then to the CRO, then you can clearly observe, because we have already connected the input to the second pin. So the second pin input data sequence is 11000000 and so on like this. So exactly the same input data sequence is demodulated at the output. So without any difference, exactly same data sequence is demodulated at the output. This is what the advantage of digital communication. We can able to perfectly demodulate the original signals while we are receiving the modulated signals. Okay. So observe the demodulation for other conditions also. This is what the first case. I have already changed the input connection to the first data input. Then if you observe the demodulation, again the both are having same. So if the input is 1010, the demodulated output is also 1010. Like that, you can able to observe the PSK modulation. Sorry. Just wait for 1 minute.